All right, my friends. So you have received multiple meal plans from me, but today we are going to go over how you can create your own meal plan because I'm sure you don't want to be reliant on somebody else creating meal plans for you for the rest of your life, right? It's really a process that I think can feel overcomplicated and maybe overwhelming, but it does not have to feel that way. I'm going to give you a couple of tips in here as we go through the different things that I do to build my meal plan, and hopefully they help you out as you go through beginning to build your meal plans. So let's go ahead and get started with this sheet here. I'll provide you with this sheet in our group so that you have access to it. So what this sheet basically does is it breaks all of your food groups down by the amount of servings that you would need depending on your caloric needs. So you're going to start off with your weight, then you'll figure out what your caloric needs are. I think it's always important to kind of record these kinds of things so that you can track your progress, right? So for this specific example, caloric needs are 1630 per day, and then we would write the minimum amount of water that the person would need per day, which you know is half of your body weight in ounces of water, right? So this person's plan is going to fall right here into this plan B between 15 and 17.99. Now, there's a couple hundred calorie variance in there, and that's okay, right? Because we're never striving to be perfect. We're just always striving to make progress. We're never going to eat exactly 1600 calories every single day. We just want to be within that good range and stick close to the 1630, what our goal is for whatever we're working towards. So you can see in that plan, this person is allowed 4 servings of veggies, 3 servings of fruit, 4 servings of protein, 3 servings of carbs, 1 serving of healthy fats, 1 serving of seeds and dressings, and 4 servings of oils and nut butters. All right. So we're going to come over here to the food list sheet, and you can see what a serving size is on the top row of this sheet. So veggies, a serving is a cup, fruit, a serving is a cup, protein, 1 serving is 3/4 of a cup, and so on. You're also going to see if you look down that you can now see a whole bunch of different examples of vegetables, of fruits, of proteins, carbs, fats, all those good sorts of things. So it becomes a little less confusing when you're trying to choose out, especially I think that proteins and fats, carbs and fats can sometimes get a little bit confused as to what's what. And this tells you very clearly where those foods fall and how much, how big a serving of those foods are. Is are. Anyway, so we're going to come over here and continue going through these sheets. And we said this person was Plan B. So we're going to click on Plan B. Plan B gives you an example meal plan. And in this example meal plan, you can see breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2 snacks during the day, and your little, I'm going to have something now that the kids are in bed and I just want to chill out food, are all accounted for in here. And how they're broken down is how many servings of each of those food groups you should be having in each meal and snack. So it makes it really easy for you to build a meal plan because you know you just have to fill in those food groups. So for instance, for breakfast, we've got baby spinach, hits our veggie. We know we need to have a cup of it because that's what the previous sheet said a serving size was. Saute a cup of baby spinach, which is that olive oil. So that's going to be the oil accounted for here. Then we've got eggs. If we look back at the previous sheet, we can see that 1 serving of protein for eggs is going to be 2 eggs. So 2 eggs, there we go, hit that protein serving. And then we need that half a cup of carbs in our breakfast, which is going to be half a cup of cooked oatmeal. We'll put some cinnamon in it, something like that, make it yummy. And then we're going to cook it in olive oil. Now, say that doesn't work for you. You don't want that, right? That's fine. So we can switch it up because we know all we have to do is get a veggie, a protein, a carb, and an oil in our breakfast. So what if we maybe instead have something like, let's go back to the list for our protein, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt. All right. So that's going to be our protein, 3/4 of a cup. Okay. We know we need a veggie. So what veggie do we want to have with that Greek yogurt? Maybe we want to switch things up. maybe it's, seasonal time and we want maybe pumpkin with it, or maybe we want some beets with that Greek yogurt and add some spices in it, make it spices and maybe nuts for our healthy fat. And now we have this kind of like savory, sweet Greek yogurt dish that we've created. Maybe we want to have egg white oats. So we grab oats as our carb. We add a scoop of protein powder in it as our protein. And then we choose some sort of veggie for the side. Now, additionally, you saw me struggling a little with the Greek yogurt and with the oatmeal, right? To hit that carb right there. So maybe we switch, to hit the veggie, maybe we switch the veggie and the fruit, breakfast and snack. Maybe we switch those so that we can put blueberries in our oats or blueberries in our Greek yogurt. And then we have that veggie with a protein for snack, right? So you can very easily swap one for the other and have everything still come out balanced. So this gives you a really useful tool to be able to build meal plans from this little breakdown here, depending on what your caloric needs are. Now, I'm going to give you one more little example here. Now, this is how I do things that are maybe a little bit more, they have more ingredients that are all mixed together, and you're like, how do I track this, right? Can be a little confusing. But that's where recipes come in handy. Start here with this turkey and veggie soup. So all I did was I copied the ingredients from a recipe. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these ingredients. Okay, copy. And I'm going to come back over into my Fitness Pal. I'm going to go into recipes, recipe manually. So let's do that again. Strong nation oatmeal cookies. Okay. And then I'm just going to paste the ingredients here. There's my ingredients. I'm gonna go back to my recipe today. 16 cookies. So we'll say it's 16 servings. One cookie is one serving. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna update that to 16 servings. Match ingredients. Okay. So now all that's happening is it's pulling up those ingredients, and then you have to go through and double check those ingredients and make sure you put the right thing in. So 1 cup of oats, check. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, checked. Half a teaspoon of sea salt, yep. 2 cups of mashed bananas, which I had 2 medium bananas. Let's see if there's that option here. Yep. So let's go ahead and select medium, 2 medium bananas with that check mark. Okay, half a cup of raisins and half a cup of walnuts. So everything looks good. So I'm going to save it. And then I have that recipe in here. And now I can see if I want to check the macros in this food, I click on it and then I can look at the nutrition facts. So I can see it's 54 calories. It has 2 grams of fat. It has 9 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein, and 4 grams of sugar. So it tells me those very important things that I need to know when I'm having a treat. And by the way, what a freaking fantastic breakdown for a treat here. 4 grams of sugar. That's a really good cookie treat for you to add in if you are craving cookies. Okay, so but that gives you, and you can do that with any big recipe, like as many ingredients as you have. I have recipes in here that have 30, 40 ingredients in them. You just put the serving size, and then all you have to do is log it. So I could just log it. I'm having a cookie for breakfast today. 1 serving. Log it, and then you'll see it. I'll see it on my sheet. So another thing that you can do is preload your food, which is something I'm a really big fan of. So as you start creating your own meal plans, pre-logging your food will tell you how your day looks before you actually eat it. So what that would look like is if I'm going in to log for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to go to add food. And I'm going to log everything that I have put on my meal plan to eat tomorrow. I'm going to log it in, and then I'm going to see how it stacks up with what I should be eating to hit my goals. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to do an egg. I've got 2 of them. Perfect. And then I will do, let's go ahead and add that. And then let's add a tortilla because let's say I'll have it on a taco. So I just type it in. I look for the mi tienda, 1 tortilla, 1, add it to breakfast. Okay, there we go. There's breakfast for me. And then I typically also have my egg white oats. So I'm going to come over to my recipes, 1 serving, and let's add it. Okay. So that gives me breakfast. I can see I'm getting 41 grams of protein, spot on, 56 carbs, 22 grams of fat, and 587 calories. Looks like a pretty darn good breakfast. My circle is looking pretty balanced. All right, so then let's move on to lunch. For lunch, I typically have a burrito bowl. So turkey bowl, let's go ahead and add that 1 serving to lunch. Perfect, 445 calories, 53 grams of protein. Let's look at my, yep, still looking pretty spot on there. Now let's go ahead and go to dinner. Let's say, what am I gonna have for dinner? I like to really just keep it super simple and basic. Let's see, 1 more. Let's add that food, add a potato, 1 medium potato to dinner, add food to diary. Okay, so then that gives me my dinner. And then I know that I'm going to, well, my dinner looks a little low on the protein here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'll do 5 ounces of chicken. So see how I changed the measurement to 1 ounce there. And now I'm just going to do 5 ounces instead of 1. So I'm going to do 5 ounces of chicken, and that'll get my protein up where it needs to be. Yeah, right around that 40. Okay. So then let's talk about the snacks that I'm going to eat through the day. So then I would go in and I would say, okay, I'm over by 85 calories. I'm over by 25 grams of protein and 21 grams of carbs. So I can make a couple of adjustments here before I actually eat the foods, which is super powerful place to be in. It allows you to make those adjustments before those foods go into your body. All right, so what am I going to adjust here? I am going to take this protein milk out, and I'm just going to have regular almond milk, and there we go. Let's go ahead and add that almond milk. Unsweetened, 1 cup, 37 calories. There we go. So I'm just going to make my shake with almond milk. And that lowered me into the correct caloric area. I still could do a little swappy swap with carbs and fats here, but honestly, I'm not concerned with being perfect like ever. So I would call this a pretty darn good, very well balanced day in my life. And now tomorrow, all I have to do is go into my Fitness Pal and look at what I've already logged and just eat what I have logged. And there we go. So that's 2 different ways of making your own meal plan from foods that you know that you like. So you can add those recipes into my Fitness Pal and then just pull the recipes like I did here with my ground turkey bowl, with my overnight oats. And those ingredients are already preloaded into for you. And then you can just add in your snacks. If you know that you always have a shake with a certain ingredients in it, just make it a recipe so that you can just put that one shake in there and you don't have to add all those ingredients, right? If you something, do things that make it easier for you to log things into my Fitness Pal and then pre-log it. You can even pre-log 3 days at a time and then just do repeats of those days, right? You can do Monday, Wednesday, Friday and have the same foods on those days. And then you don't have to log them anymore. You can just go back and look, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I know I'm eating this. Tuesday, Thursday, I know I'm eating this. If you want to add an extra day in there, that way you can swap things around and you have those days already pre-calculated and you have a few recipes that you can swap between back and forth. And that'll help you stay really well balanced with your macros without feeling like you're having to pull your hair out. Like this took me maybe 8 to 10 minutes. Faster the more you do it. The more you do it, the less you'll have to do it because you'll get a lot more used to seeing those portion sizes and knowing exactly what you can eat on the daily in order to be balanced. But anytime I am trying a new recipe, I always go copy the ingredients from the recipe, paste them into MyFitnessPal, and see how that recipe stacks up against what my personal goals are and what my macros should be. And then I make adjustments to that recipe. Like you saw me make adjustments here. I took out that protein milk because it's pretty high in calories and I was over in calories, and I swapped it out for almond milk. You do the same with recipes, right? Just make little swaps in the recipes that get your macros to where they should be. And I actually have a video on how to do that that I will share as well. But hopefully this helps you. Next week, I'll add another video that's similar to this, where I go over again a little bit more about like how to create your own meal plans and how to really create meal plans that allow for streamlined meal prepping. All right, let's go ahead and get after it. Don't overcomplicate it. Use the tools that make life easier, like what I've just shown you here, and just keep up with that consistency. Be flexible with the consistency until you find what works really best for you and then be consistent with that. All right, have a good one.